Hello Libra, welcome to Spirit in You. My name is Debbie and welcome to your February 2019 general reading. So what I've done, Libra, is I've set out 8 cards here, and I've also got us a animal spirit guide card which I'll show you at the end. So I hope that you're well, and the first card that came through for you, Libra, was Temperance. So when Temperance comes through, this could well be that there's somebody in your life who's a fire sign, like Sagittarius. There could be an element of somebody being around you that's a Sagittarian, particularly, or a fire sign. So just bear that in mind. And Temperance means that we're just needing to make sure that we've got the balance in life, that things are the way that they should be, that we're looking after ourselves, you know, physically, we're looking after ourselves emotionally, and that we are keeping the balance of our life with the things that we do. So we're not doing too much of one thing and not enough of the other, and we're just balancing the books, as it were, and keeping everything kind of at a level playing kind of field, and a level of where you feel comfortable. So, and it's kind of through all aspects of life. So it doesn't just have to be a relationship, for instance, where you're just making sure that, you know, there's not too much giving and not enough receiving, or vice versa. It's in the workplace as well, that you're not working too hard and then not getting enough rest. And it's that when you're around people, that you're not giving all of yourself all of the time and getting very little in return, that you're not in a situation where you're feeling a little bit pulled and pinned down by a particular person or a situation at work, that kind of thing. There is a lot of alchemy in this card, so it's got a spiritual connotation to it, that there's an ability for you to balance the books and balance your life in a very, very alchemic way, kind of thing, in a way of that you've got a few. It's like you can juggle balls very easily and they don't drop. You could keep things going because you've got an eye for the detail and you've got a handle on things, and you're able to not manipulate the situation, but you're able to bend the situation so that it works for you. So the balance, although the card would say to you, let's make sure that we don't do any extremes and tilt it one way or the other, actually you're very good at balancing exactly that. So you do know how to do this. So it could be that you've got everything sorted out, that you are in balance and in harmony and in alignment because of the alchemy aspect coming in, so the alignment's there for you, and you are able to perform small versions of magic tricks, that kind of thing. And it could be then that that's just there's a fire element coming through for you. This talk is, it shows that your ability to communicate very well. It also shows that if you're in a situation, in a relationship with anybody, and you need to express yourself, this card would say to you, you do have the ability to do that, and don't feel that you'll throw things out of kilter or you'll put things out of balance if you don't express yourself, because you've always got to be able to do that. There has to be a fair division of labour in the workplace for you, and a fair division of labour in the relationship. So that sort of even Stevens things is particularly important. So if you're at work and something needs to be said and done, and you know that to be right, and of course it's fair, then you need to express yourself and say it. And if it's in a relationship, you need to be able, again, to express your opinions, your thoughts, your feelings, what's important to you, because you have an opinion too. So it's balance. It feels like you have that, because this card, as it comes through for you particularly, Libra, says, well, I've actually already got the balance, they've already got the balance. But if you have any sort of wobble, know that there's an inner strength there. Know that you've got a lot inside of you that you can produce when you need to, and you can voice your opinion when it's needed, and shout it out if you need to. Whatever the situation asks you to do, you'll know which way that needs to be. You'll find that fair division. So that's how you start, which is lovely. And then this still kind of in the first week or so, you've got, what is it? You've got the 6 of Wands here. So Wands depicts fire, emotion, passion, goals, when you're driven to do something. That's the kind of feeling that you get. But what I'm getting for this, for you with the wands, is I'm getting, again, I'm getting a lot of giving and receiving of information, of love, of projects, of the work. So you're able, because of your ability, you're able to transform a situation when it comes into play. If this is around work, and you're at work and that situation presents itself and there's people around you and they're throwing all sorts of ideas at you and they're asking for your opinion, then I feel that you'll be able to have the conversation and transform that situation so that the foundation of the conversation feels better, so people don't feel up in the air and unsure. That's how that feels. And if somebody comes to you at work and they're unsettling something that you're doing, saying, no, I think you should change this, then I believe that on the day-to-day routine side of things, you'll be able to say, well, actually, my idea would be to do it this way. I feel quite passionate about that. So if we produce it this way, and if we say it this way, and if we write it this way, whichever way this needs to be delivered, I feel I can make it better. You will feel that. So you'll be able to transform the situation. There's a lovely butterfly here, which again gives me that element of being able to fly as you have with your bird here. So there's a freedom element to this, and there's a lightness that's needed. It's February and you want things to be gentler and you want them to be easier. And this shows that in the workplace that things are getting lighter, they'll start to make more sense, more money coming in to work and what you're doing, so making things easier as you're sort of heading into 2019. So that's lovely for you. And then the next card that you got is the Sun of Wands. So you've got Wands again. Now this could be that because there's a sun here, we'll just make a reference to the sun. It could be that you've got a son, it could be that you've got a daughter, you've got children, and therefore they need a little bit of your guidance, need a little bit of your advice. They need you to be able to show them the way, as it were, that element of your fairness and your kindness and your ability to show them how to drive the car if they're having driver lessons, how to move forward with their studies, and how to save money, and kind of how to, you're directing them, it feels like. So there's an adolescent feel to this card. If this is you yourself, then there's a youthfulness feeling to that. Or the card would say to you, in terms of work and in terms of your love life as well, what's going on in your relationship, let's have a bit more fun. Let's bring a bit of lightness to it. It can all get a bit serious with work and it can get serious with lots of things. Let's bring a bit of fun and play into the situation, and let's go out and about and just expand our horizons and do things. So there's that element to it as well, a message coming through for you to say, okay, right, in terms of what I'm driven to do, my work, the business that I'm in, maybe it's a business partnership, maybe it's just you're going to work for somebody else, it's their business. There'll be ideas coming to your mind as well that you might want to put forward that will feel rather light and bright and enthusiastic. So there's an element of play and fun and enthusiasm, which is where the youthfulness comes through, that you will be putting into the workplace and indeed into a relationship as well. So some fun to be had, rock climbing, doing all sorts of things, having fun. Very nice. And then the next card that came along is the Five of Pentacles. So again, sort of second week feel to this. 5 particularly is very kind of, for me anyway, as I'm feeling it for you, is related around children and sport particularly. So somebody involved in sports, that their job is sports, or they love sports, they're helping people, physiotherapy, it's that kind of thing. It's a sports feel. It's that rock climbing I just felt as well, and children being involved, maybe having 5 children, which is an awful lot of children, although I'm one of 5, but there's the child element of them being involved here. I'm getting that strongly with this card. I'm also, because it's Pentacles, and Pentacles mean money and material things, and what we're trying to build up in our lives along the way, this shows that you're halfway there. The money is coming. It also can depict that there's been points, or and hasn't there been points for everybody where money hasn't been as good as we wanted it to be? There's been moments where, and it's also, this card can have the tendency for you to feel like at times, oh, woe is me, I'm never going to get out of this, it's never going to get better, the relationship's always going to be stuck, work will always be the same, I'll never get a pay rise, I'm not going where I want to go. But this card says, well, be creative with that. Think about that division of labour at work, the division of love in the relationship. Get the balance right and create a better situation for yourself. Look to what can be, not what isn't, because the horizon is actually very bright, and in fact it's illuminating. So we don't have to stay in a position, you don't have to stay in any position that doesn't suit you, that doesn't sit well with you, and doesn't make you feel lovely. So create it and change the situation if you need to. Now there's a rose here, although it is sort of wilted down like this, but Valentine's Day is coming, and so maybe there's an aspect of you picking yourself up, and somebody's going to be giving you a lovely rose to cheer you up, or you may be giving somebody a rose, because roses are coming up, because it's February and it seems right with Valentine's Day coming up. So let's use that and let's be creative with our love, be creative in the workplace with our money, save where it's needed to, and be inventive. And don't let things get you down when they don't need to, because it's only ever a moment in time. And I'm feeling that being very cyclical, wheels moving, things turning, changing and churning and moving. Forward movement is what I'm getting with this card. Lovely. Going into then the third week now is the Empress. And there she is. But it's a he or a she, although it is an Empress. Very much, I'm talking about this child element here. So the Empress card means fertility. So the birth of something, the birth of children, something coming to life, something springing into step, a leap of faith, as it were. And it feels very much around the springtime, because that's the element of it. There's obviously it's earth as well, pulling you down, but there's magic in this card. There's a spirituality, an artistic side, and there's also the earth element. So it could be for some of you that this is about the birth of an idea, the birth of a child for some as well, because of the fertility side of it, but the opening up of an idea that you might have in the workplace or in the relationship that you're in. You may suddenly think, I'm going to do it this way and it's going to make everything much better. And at work, as we talked about, if you're going to change things up a little bit, you may balance things out and it all becomes really obvious which way you need to go with it. There's also, because it's a tree here, the element of the family tree, bringing you into what makes you feel really good about the family, the heartfelt matters, looking after the children, having the courage to be able to speak out in a family situation when you need to a partner, so that you're getting your point across. So lovely fertility, birthing of an idea, birthing of perhaps a child's, it feeling very spring-like and very abundant, and a strong sense of you being very artistic. There's a kind of Venus feel to me with this, the goddess of love, that's coming through very strongly. And I'm loving this kind of, well, it's pink almost, which is love. So I like the way this feels. So love is in the air with this. It definitely feels like that, sort of like your third week. And then we get the Eight of Cups coming through. And the Eight of Cups is one of those cards where it's saying to you, you need to use your inner strength, the strength that you've got actually, as it looks over at the Temperance card that sort of kicked off the month, the balance, the ability that you've got inside of you. So there's a strength inside of you that you might need to tap into if anything comes your way that feels a little bit tricky. Remember that nothing stays the same, that everything is cyclical. So when things get a little bit rocky or you get a little unsure, it's like you have to go through it to get through it. You've got to face it to be able to look back at it and understand it. So this is a moment in time, and the cups that are broken down here are just depicting it's emotional. So it could be not just in a relationship that you get affected, it can affect you at work as well. It's wherever those emotions are. So if work became a little tricky, you'd be looking at the situation thinking, like, that didn't work out so well, so I'm going to change it. I'm going to strip it back, I'm going to change it, and I'm going to move on to the next project or onto the next way of doing things. And I'm going to be very open-minded about that as I walk around the corner, as it were, to my new idea, to my the idea of rebirthing something, of changing something, of coming out with an idea. So this card could depict that on an emotional level. If it's about matters of the heart, and something has affected you, then know that it's moving and changing, and it will do, because you will do that as you walk through the situation, and as you realize that every cloud has a silver lining, that there was a message in maybe the muddle that it felt like at the time, that you have learnt. Thank you for that lesson, thank you very much for it. Yep, I've learnt what I needed to learn, and now I'm moving on to the next phase, next stage, next chapter, the next opening of my life. And so this card would say to you, whatever has happened, there is a bright future around the corner, literally. So don't stay stuck, because you're not. Keep that balance going, and remember that, don't be out of kilter when you just straighten yourself up and walk around the corner to something better. Then on to the fourth week is the Four of Cups. So we've got another cup feel here. Four of Cups. When this card comes through here with the Four of Cups, the way that I'm feeling it, this is you being really, this brings me to the home, very much to the home, very much to family life, the way this card makes me feel for you. So I like the fact that conversation is needed, courage is needed, balance is needed, and talking about the situation at home on an emotional level. This is like if you're the head of the family, this is you going out to work and making sure that the money comes in and you're feeding the family. This is you showing how ingenious you are at providing food for the family even when money's tight. There's a part of you that is very good at making things happen and keeping things balanced and keeping things going when they need to be kept going. That's how this card feels. You protect those that you care about, and you're a very hard worker. That's the way this card makes me feel. So when you're in a relationship, you're in a relationship, and you want to stay in it, and you want to protect that person and those people around you. And in the workplace as well, there's a team spirit feel to you. You want to get on with the team. You can easily lead the team as well, and they would follow you very well. But you do it in a nice manner, and you also do it in a way that doesn't make people feel uneasy. So the pattern of your behaviour is always very transparent. There's an illumination about you, there's a lightness to you that people like, and that you know that you're able to do. So when this card comes through, the way that I'm feeling it for you, this is about you being able to correct situations and make situations better, using that ingenuity. Also using the when temperance came in at the beginning, that ability, that sort of spirituality that you've got to make things happen, the kind of the magical aspect that you've got inside of you to change a situation. And you're able to kind of sit there, think about it, make notes that you need to make, converse that way with some people because it's easier for you, but you'll make things happen. Also, I feel with this card as well, not to spend too much time worrying about anything. Don't over worry or overthink, because nothing stays the same for any length of time. And your family, your roots, the foundation, your work, all of these things being important to you, you'll always get through it because you've got that artistic side, that ability to change a situation when you need to. So know you've got an inner strength because it's there, and this card is telling you that. So much so, coming to the end of the month, and talking about strength, you've got the Eight of Pentacles here. So that shows a real inner strength, a real ability to cradle the people that you care about and to nurture yourself, and not to forget to nurture yourself when you need it. Don't forget to practice a little bit of self-care along the way. It'd be very easy for you to just keep giving. So remember the balance about receiving as well. So if you need to go off and have a little bit of a retreat, or if you need to go to the spa, or if you need a massage, or if you just need a pizza and a night out, then you've got to remember to have that, because you're so busy making everything right for everybody else. This is lovely because at the end of the month, this shows how the money is improving, how life is improving, and how you've kind of weaved your magic, which I talked about with the alchemy here, with the Temperance card. There's an ability to produce magical things, which is a real quality inside of you. So you should be proud of that because it's great. So there's the Eight of Pentacles saying it's okay. We've started off the month, we're ending with, hey, the money's built up. The invoices I put out have come in, money is building up, the work that I've done, I've been paid well for, could be a pay rise coming. Money that's in the bank is increasing slowly but surely because 8 is a high number, so you're on the right track. If you're studying and there's an element of that, then you're studying and you're doing really well. Projects are coming together, the studies are coming together, and the cycles are moving in the way that they should. So you're completing assignments and the ball is rolling and things are moving. And it feels really nice in that respect. So take number 8 as a very good omen for you. It also, if you turn 8 to the side, it gives you the figure of infinity, which draws you to your alchemy side here, and it lets you know that they've got your back, that spirit is with you. And that's a lovely thing to know. There's a cradling feeling with this, and there's a we'll catch you if you fall feeling, and that would be something that you would do for your friends and family as well. You'd catch them if they fell, but don't forget that you need to be caught as well. So your relationship needs to be giving and receiving. This card will say the end of the month is showing abundance and that you're doing really, really well, which I think is just fabulous for you. I really do, Libra. Now, the card that popped out as I shuffled them was the peacock for your spirit animal guide, and I love this. I love the way the peacock feels because it's got that lovely air feeling to it. It's got the ability to communicate, the ability to fly, the ability to also keep your energy levels at the level that they need to be. Calm is what I'm getting. And also this peacock, when it comes through, it feels like the ability to see further than most people can, and it gives you the ability to look into something. So if you're working on your computer and there's a lot of data, you've got it all stored the way that you should. You've remembered all of your dates and you've stored it. And if you're compiling something work-wise, study-wise, you're writing, you've got everything logged and you've dotted and crossed where you needed to. There's a journaling aspect to this. There's a organisational feel to it, and the energy is very, very calm, and it's beautiful. There's an elegance to it. Of course, the peacock, when it brings out its feathers, it shows the world, doesn't it? Look at me, look at who I am. And the peacock will stand there sort of fluttering away. The males love to do that, don't they? And show their inner beauty. And that's what you should do as well. Let this card tell you to shine where you need to shine and show your beauty, that feminine side of you and the masculine side of you, whether you're male or female. Show that inner beauty. Show the fact that you want to be around beauty, and bring beauty into your life, like the saunas, spas, all of the things, massages, anything that makes you comfortable, and it doesn't matter what it is. Make sure that this month you have a little bit of that, because this peacock wants you to remember the self-care and the little bit of self-therapy, that you're important too. It's great to look after everybody else, but you must not forget about you. So don't forget to fly and to show the world who you are, and show them that delicate, wonderful kind of Venus feel that I'm getting with you. So Libra, I hope February is a really good month for you. Thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, it would be lovely if you liked it and you subscribed, as I'm slowly watching the subscriptions rising, and it's only kind of just month 3, so they're creeping up really well. So thank you for your love and your support, and I will see you in March. Have a fabulous month. Take very good care of yourself. Thank you, Libra. Bye.